Hello and merry meet. I'm Lady Tehila from the new Covenstead of the Open Mind, and you're watching Sabbaths 101. Hail and welcome. Well, folks, it's that time of year again when the leaves start to turn beautiful and the wind blows a little bit colder, and we all pretend like we like to be scared. Spooky season! In Wicca, this kicks off with a bang. Mabon, the witches' Thanksgiving. Mabon is a celebration of the second harvest, the gourd, corn, and apple harvest. On this day, the goddess is said to die as well, and she reunites with her beloved god in the Underworld. This brings with it, once again, a sense of balance between male and female and dark and light, as Mabon is a celebration of the fall equinox. Life and death are balanced once again, but this time the scale is on the tipping point towards death. There's a chill in the air, but not around the hearth, as we see the full labor of our season of life come into abundance. Ritual is usually held around sunset with a feast to follow on the day that is most equal in terms of daytime and nighttime. And that will vary from region to region and year to year, but it usually falls somewhere between the 20th and 22nd, sometimes as late as the 24th of September. People typically spend their day resting or strolling in the dying woods, soaking up the last of the summer sun, reflecting on their blessings. During the evening meal, it's very customary for everyone to go around and say what they're most thankful for this year as a way to honor the abundance that is given to them by the gods. Crafts are very common this time of year, especially making paper or writing on fancy sheaves of paper, usually blessings or prayers, words of thanks. These are sometimes burned in the evening bonfire as a way to raise those prayers higher and send them up to the ancient ones on high. Leaves and acorns are very popular additions to the altar, as well as corn dollies, other effigies, representations of the god that are made out of the crop. And those are usually burnt in the evening bonfire as well. Many will weave fresh brooms, especially out of cinnamon or with cinnamon woven in. Many will pick apples or corn fresh from the vine, fresh from the tree or the stalk, whatever. And foods featuring those ingredients are really common. What folks eat for this holiday, everything. Mashed potatoes are common, sweet potatoes, casseroles and salads of all kinds. Pasta and pasta salads are still on the table. Squash, especially spaghetti squash, zucchini and eggplant, but this time more often in bread or in casserole than breaded and fried like it was for Lughnasadh or for Litha. Cooked vegetables are very common, especially cooked with honey. Anything that's balsamic or vinegary is also common. Savory herbs, and of course, cornbread. Corn, it's the corn harvest. Pies are the most common dessert food. It's also the apple harvest. So apple pies are very common. All different kinds of fruit pies. Some nut pies will make their appearance. But mostly it's apple and fruit pies. Sometimes you'll see pumpkins make their way onto the table, usually not in pie, usually in like a casserole or something. It depends on the region because in some regions, pumpkins are ready by now. In other regions, pumpkins are still taking their time. For drinks, we see a shift to generally more bitter or dry reds, less sweet drinks, except mead is common this time of year still, which is pretty sweet. Ales are very common this time of year, especially ales made from sorghum or barley or rye, some of the darker harvest harvestables. Apple cider is very common, as well as distilled harvest liquors and fruit liqueurs. Common scents include cinnamon, allspice, apple, incenses of all kinds, but especially myrrh and sandalwood, full-bodied incenses, corn dollies and freshly woven brooms. Those are the most common crafts, most common altar adornments, most common decorations, bundles of, harvestables as well. And little gourds are often placed all around the house and the hearth to remind us of our blessings. So as you begin to see the beauty of death invade your natural spaces, as you begin to feel the chill in the air, fret not, for abundance and love are always around us, rising from within us, extending to the stars beyond. What are you thankful for this year? Have a wonderful Witches Thanksgiving. And from everyone here at the Coven of the Open Mind, blessed be.